All right, so I want to take a moment to talk about the news with coronavirus and how to approach it. What I see a lot of us doing is we are glued to our phones, to our televisions, to social media for data because we want to know what's going on. We want to know where things are at with the coronavirus. And nothing wrong with that. But what I would like to offer is for you to plan ahead of time the mindset you want to be in when you do that. Because the actions that you take to watch the news, to read the headlines, to research facts, to game plan forward, to contingency, figure things out, all of those things, those are the actions that you're doing. But we can take those actions from very different mindsets and get very different results because actions don't create the results we get. Ultimately, it's the way we're thinking that creates the result we get because how we think, the mindset that we have, impacts how we take in information. Information, data, concrete numbers, the way we take them in is influenced by how we're thinking. And how we're thinking then creates the way we feel. And if we're feeling panicked as we're watching the news, that's the experience we get from the news. So we watch the news and our result is we stay panicked. Everything seems terrible and dire and awful and there's no solution. If that's the mindset we were in when we watch the news. And so I invite you, if you want to watch the news, do it. But think about how you're showing up as you're watching the news. Think about the mindset that you're in and decide ahead of time what you want that mindset to be. Because it could be watch the news to figure it out, to see what's happening so you're informed, to determine what you want your steps to be forward, to find a place of security, but letting yourself know what's going on. And from that mindset, taking in the news is a completely different experience because you're taking it in from a place of feeling secure because you've decided that that's what you're going to have. That's the experience you're going to have watching the news. So you choose ahead of time. Often we get it backwards. We watch the news and think the news is going to determine how we think and feel, what we should think and feel. But we get to decide what we want to think and feel regardless. And if we want to come from a place of problem solving, of figuring it out, of watching the news in a way that helps us plan forward, ask yourself, what would I need to think to watch the news in that way? How would I need to feel to watch the news in that way? And get yourself in that state and then turn the TV on and then scroll. That can help us to take in the information in a way that best serves us for our abilities to move forward. So think about how you want to show up watching the news, as in the mindset, managing that mind ahead of time so that you can come from that place when you see the facts and figures. What I also want to offer is that the news, a lot of it was created to engage us, to grab our attention, to let us know what's going on, but often from the place where we evolve, which is that primitive mindset, danger, danger, danger. So yes, the news has facts, and those facts can be helpful for us to see. And just remember that the news that we're getting is influenced by what's shared. The data that we're presented isn't the full picture. I mean, there's no way we could ever have the full picture of every single data point that's going on. So just know that even though you might have actual numbers and figures and graphs to look at, it's not like that's the comprehensive picture. That's a facet of the data. And so you can use that data and also just remember that there's probably more data out there that you're not seeing. Not that you have to go and figure out every single data point and fact and figure, but that The data itself isn't concrete and doesn't dictate how we need to show up or feel or think. It's just a number, it's just a figure. And so decide ahead of time how you want to approach the facts and the figures and the news that you're watching so that you can set yourself up to uh, have it serve you, have it help you in this time. And I also want to offer, too, that there's a difference between facts and headlines. So there's the actual concrete numbers, and then there's the way it's interpreted. There's the way we slant it. There's even like, if you think about it like a flashlight in a room, the room is full of all of the furniture. And you shine the furniture, but you only shine the light in one area at a time. So there's all of the other furniture in the room, but you just see that chair that I'm pointing my flashlight on. The headlines and the news can be like that too. We get like a flashlight beam of information. We might not be able to see the whole room. And there might be no way for us to see the whole room, and that's okay. It's just knowing that there's a whole room of information. And so where do we want to shine the light? And when we see that, the headline is kind of like the interpretation of it. How do we want to use that in a way that's helpful for us? All right. Thank you.